What's going on, guys? It's your boy Scrub here, back again with another video. Hope you guys are having a great day. I know I am. Today I've got a story time about this kid at summer camp who had arguably the biggest fail of all time. He literally, doopied himself and then proceeded to blame somebody else for it, as if, that's possible to be like, you pooped and didn't know. Regardless, it should be a pretty funny video. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. Press the like button or no joke, no scam. You'll poop your pants next, and it's gonna be a messy one. Let's go.
It's not good. Nice rack in her ass Brazilian. Just turned 21, but my bank's a million. Swear I'm a little drunk, but it's a hell of a feeling.
Alright, so this actually was a subscriber story that was sent in. Regardless, though, when somebody takes a dookie on their school trip, dude, it's definitely something worth talking about. I guess there was this kid named Daryl who, wasn't the sharpest tool in the shed. He was the type of guy that would describe crayons by their taste, and then would taste more than one crayon just to see if all the colors tasted the same. He wasn't the sharpest tool in the shed, but the person who sent in the story didn't have a class with him, so they didn't know him too well. They just knew that sometimes he would do things that were a little bit questionable, like eating crayons, Regardless, this time comes where they're gonna go on this camping trip for a couple days, and I'm gonna be honest with you, a school camping trip is arguably the worst field trip ever. They're gonna frame it as a bunch of fun when you and your friends get to hang out in the mountains, but in reality, it's gonna be like all the teachers yelling at you because they don't actually want to be watching all these kids on a camping trip. And dude, am I the only one that just didn't have enough people in my classes that I really wanted to hang out with? Maybe that's just me, but there weren't a bunch of people in my classes that I was like, I would really love to be stuck in the woods with you. That sounds like a fantastic use of my time. But regardless, they decided to go, and there were a bunch of kids going because it was just better than school, so they ended up having to use a few different cabins. And each cabin had 8 people in it-ish, so enough where you had to be close to people, but also enough where it wasn't a super intimate experience. You weren't getting to know the people you were staying with super well because there was 8 of you. And the person who sent in the story, they hear their name called, and then shortly after, Daryl's name gets called. And after that, the teachers did the cringe thing, where they were like, all right, you fantastic campers. Okay, so what we're gonna do, okay, it's gonna be so fun. Oh my god. We're gonna go to our tents, that's right, or cabins, sorry. Silly me, I'm only half a bottle of wine in. And we're gonna get to know each other. Oh my gosh, that's right. We're gonna talk to our campers using our camping voices. Oh my gosh, our camping voices, guys. And we're gonna just get to know each other. And it's really an excuse for her to smoke a cigarette because she's already stressed out. I don't even blame the teacher, man. Watching 80 fifth graders running around the woods sounds like the worst thing ever, but that's why I wouldn't volunteer to ever go on one of these trips. The teacher gives that little spiel and tells everybody to go to the cabin, so sure enough, they break off to all go to meet each other and whatnot. And they're asking each other questions, and almost immediately, Daryl is kind of the weirdest kid in the cabin. And before they had started talking, this kid knew he just kind of had a weird reputation, but didn't know too much. But when they're asking questions, somebody asked oh, what's your favorite type of animal? And the Daryl kid looked around and went, to kill? And everyone was like, no, your favorite animal. And he's like, oh, I don't have a favorite animal. I just have favorite things to kill. Which the person who sent in the story told me that it seemed more like he was trying to seem cool. He was trying to seem like a psychopath, which is a very weird thing to want to be. Aha, yes, I also have no respect for human life. It's just weird, dude, but that's the type of stuff he's doing, and he's just kind of answering weirdly to questions. Oh, do you have a girlfriend? No, the only lord I have is the dark wizard Balthazar. Just weirding everybody out. So anyways, after asking each other questions, they start actually looking around the cabin, and they're putting stuff away, and they realize that there's not enough beds. There's not enough beds for everybody to have their own bed. So the counselor and the chaperone just bring in this little portable bed thing. So, to give you an idea of how packed this cabin is, there's people sleeping on the floor, there's people sleeping in cots. It's not like there's a lot of free room to be walking around. It's not like there's a bunch of privacy or anything. So it would be really hard for anyone to sneakily do anything. That's gonna be important later. And for the next few days, the kid acts relatively normal, right? Holds it together pretty solid, which you gotta give weird kids credit for when they manage to keep it normal. But on the 3rd day is when things kinda start to go awry. And it's nighttime and everybody's everybody's already gotten dinner and everybody's taken showers and whatnot. But for some reason, the Daryl kid is like, yo, I'm sleeping outside. I'm gonna go pass out in the hammock. But there was no hammock, so he's just kind of sleeping on the floor. He's like, I'm gonna go sleep outside in my clothes. And so everybody's kind of like, all right, whatever, I'm tired. And the next morning, the kid who sent in the story wakes up and he smells something like a little bit weird, you know, and he's getting out of bed and it's getting worse. And that's when he realizes that the smell like isn't blowing in from the woods, it's from the cabin. And so everybody else had already woken up at that point. And they're all packing their things, so this kid starts to packing too. And once everybody's packing, he starts to get filled in on the story. So I guess because they were in a woods, if they had to go to the bathroom at night, they were supposed to like take a buddy with them, which honestly is kind of weird. Like, oh, if I have to poop at 3 in the morning, I have to wake up a buddy. Regardless, I guess at some point in the night, this Daryl kid had decided that he needed to use the restroom and drop a deuce. And he had walked there, gotten halfway, and just realized, oh my gosh, I don't have my partner. Now at this point, it's already too late. You have to use the bathroom. Just go to the bathroom, right? Well, no. This kid decides to start going back. However, before he can get back to the cabin, he has an accident. And listen, that's unfortunate. He was just trying to follow the rules. Obviously, no harm, no foul. Like, yeah, pooping your pants is really embarrassing. And trust me, if you would have just gone to the bathroom in the middle of the night without your partner, nobody would have known. What, are the teachers just like sitting at the bottom of the toilet in the outhouse waiting for kids to stroll in alone? I really, really hope not. You have bigger problems if that's going on. So this kid had pooped his pants, but instead of, you know, like being super embarrassed, cleaning himself off, throwing the pants away, like anything like that, he gets back to the cabin and he just goes to sleep in it. Like, he didn't clean himself up, dude. He had just gone to bed, which, you know, that's pretty disgusting. If you're gonna have an accident, I guess it's called an accident for a reason. You probably weren't planning on it, but like, if you poop your pants and then just decide to go to bed in it, I really don't know what's wrong with you, because that is pretty gross. Yes, it appears I have defecated in my trousers. This will provide a great night's sleep. I surely will not have any regret from this. And it gets worse. I know you're probably thinking, oh my god, how does it get worse? So he had slept in his, you know, poopy pants. So by the time everybody else had started waking up in the morning, the smell had gotten bad. And that's the weird smell that this dude is smelling, is the poop. But basically, everybody kind of confronts Daryl and asks if he's pooped in his pants. And instead of being like, listen, I had an accident and I was really tired, so I just went to bed again. No, he goes, I didn't poop my pants. One of you guys pooped and then picked it up, snuck out of the cabin and put it in my pants so that way you could make fun of me this morning. And so everybody's like, what are you talking about? And they kind of started telling him he was wrong, but apparently this kid would not give up on it. It was like a flat earther level of denier. He was unironically saying that one of these kids had gotten up in the middle of the night, right? Snuck over everybody, all 7 people, none of them woke up. Everybody in the cabin stays asleep, which I've already told you, it's a super crowded cabin. And then they decided, I'm gonna mess with Daryl who's sleeping outside, but I'm not gonna do anything normal like whipped cream on the nose and make him hit himself or anything like that. No. I'm going to poop in my hand and then go outside, sneak up on him, somehow get it into his pants without him waking up while also holding poop. And then it's the entire point is that we're going to make fun of him the next morning. And what's weird is that the kid was telling me that like when everyone was explaining to him what happened, that even they were trying to explain to Daryl that they weren't mad. They were just trying to figure out what the smell was. And he was like, nope, not me at all. He was just refusing to admit it was him. But like everyone knew it was him. And that conspiracy theory just makes no sense. But to make matters worse, which I'm sure you're like, he is so passionate about the fact that there is no way that he actually pooped his pants, right? He's just refusing to believe it, to the point where he starts threatening to fight them for even implying that he was the one to poop his pants. Yeah, that's right, guys. The Poop Mafia, the poop ninjas running around framing people for defecating themselves. We've all been there before. Daryl is not crazy. That definitely happens. But as he's yelling at everybody, like trying to fight them, one of the teachers kind of hears the commotion, and they come over, and Daryl starts explaining to the teacher teacher what happened. And the teacher is kind of looking at them like, gentlemen, did any of you poop in your hand? And then put it in Daryl's pants, and is kind of like, okay, just say no. And they all say no, and she takes Daryl out of the cabin and starts explaining to him like, hey, it's okay, there's no reason to be embarrassed, accidents happen. And Daryl started screaming at the teacher that he didn't poop his pants, it was one of them, and like, just trust him, he'll find a way to prove it, which I don't really know how you would do, dude. Get it? Dude? Oh my gosh, I'm hilarious. But you know, I don't really know how you would even prove it. Like, how do you prove that somebody else did that? Do you DNA test it? Like, you're gonna pull up to the CSI crime scene. Yeah, I know you guys are solving a murder, but right now there's something way more important on the line. I need you to prove that this poop isn't mine. Stat. All right, guys, I'm gonna interrupt the story time for a second. On screen now is an Xbox gift card. I actually give a gift card away every single day on my channel just as a way to say thank you to everybody who is subscribed. If you're not already subscribed, I would really appreciate you taking a second to just press that button and turn on notifications while you're at it. It's literally free. You got nothing to lose. And you can always unsub if you don't like the videos. And I literally give away free money, so you really have nothing to lose. Regardless, I really do appreciate everybody who is subscribed and has notifications on. You guys do mean the world to me. And yeah, I'll shut up now so we can get back to the story time. Hopefully you subscribe. Let's go. Do you think this was the exact moment this teacher realized that, like, this job does not pay enough money? When some kid is sitting here screaming at her for even implying that he is not the person who pooped his pants and, like, denying the existence of poop ninjas, you know? Listen, son, I'm just saying that I'm not necessarily sure that that's what happened. No! Oh my god, I thought I was gonna be changing kids' lives, and here I am doing this instead. But what Daryl doesn't realize is that by yelling all of this out loud as he can with the teacher outside, he's making the entire camp aware of it, to the point where, like, people are now coming up and watching, because when somebody is screaming, the poop isn't mine, you probably want to figure out what the hell is going on. Like, I'm just saying, if I'm in the middle of the woods, the birds are chirping, there's the sound of nature, and then all of a sudden it's like, that poop was not my poop, I'm gonna go look. So now kids are gathering around and he's looking more embarrassed. But once again, instead of backing down, instead of taking now to be like, oh, wow, now that there's a crowd of people standing around me and I'm still pretending that there's like poop elves in the forest that are coming around and pranking me, maybe now would be a good time to turn off. But he starts looking at the crowd and explaining to them exactly what happened and how one of those kids in there definitely did it. And so the kids in the cabin are laughing, and I don't know how this kid manages to sleep through this. I guess when you're camping, you really do be out sometimes. Like, I'll be honest, sometimes I don't exercise as much as I should. If I exercise really hard, bro, I pass out, okay? I'm not gonna lie, dude. I can sleep through just about anything. But the kids in the cabin are laughing, and this Daryl kid is like, see, they're laughing. That proves they're guilty. But no, they're just laughing at the ridiculousness of the situation. Like, what do you want them to do when you're being accused of arguably the weirdest crime ever? Like, if any of these kids did this, what the hell? Anyways, at this point, the kid gets up as everyone's explaining this to him, and he gets his things, obviously, because he's been packing, and they go out onto the deck where Daryl had been sleeping, and he says, like, I'm usually not one to have a weak stomach, smells don't usually get to me, but whatever Daryl had eaten and slept in, bro, he must have been, like, addicted to some horrible things, because this guy really stunk up the place. He told me that he literally had tears in his eyes welling up as he was, like, walking out to where he was, and the kid had been gone for a while. So whatever boom boom stinky that guy was doing, it was a very, very large boom boom stinky, like magnitudes of 10. If it was an earthquake, it would be a tsunami earthquake, not a very nice one. I just don't understand why you wouldn't back down. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, I get it first being really embarrassed and being like, no, it wasn't me. But after they've kind of proven it's you and the teachers are involved and people are watching, I feel like for your own sanity, you kind of just gotta back down. Like, you look like a crazy person. No, it was the poop fairies. Regardless, guys, what makes matters even worse is that was actually just the start of this person's interactions with this guy. They did send me another story about him, but, you know, I'm gonna make you guys earn that one. If this video gets 30,000 likes, I will do the other story that was sent about the exact same kids, so press the like button if you haven't already. That's gonna do it for the video, though, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did and you're new, subscribe, turn on notifications, like and comment. It just helps the video do better. If you don't know what to comment, just comment the word alphabet down below, just because that's a very good word. It requires every letter. If you want more content from me, I do have a podcast called The Scuffed Cast. Feel free to check it out. Link will be in the description, along with a link to the intro song if you want to be listening to that. If you're in the mood for merch, may I suggest the Haha merch and the OG Sub Club. They are both pretty fantastic, and I tried to price them as good as I could. I appreciate you guys, and you guys have been buying a lot of the merch. That is swagtastic. Thank you so much if you've bought the merch. I really appreciate it. And yeah, on that note, that's gonna do it for the video. Don't get anyone pregnant. If you do, make sure they're hot, and hopefully I will see you guys all next time with another video. I'm out. Peace.